What if I told you that a single building, just bricks and mortar, literally gave birth to a nation? Well, today, we're telling the life story of that very building, Independence Hall. Take a look at this. This isn't just any room. It's the assembly room in Philadelphia's Independence Hall. And to answer that question, can a single room change the world? Oh yeah. For this room, it's a resounding yes. This is the very spot where abstract ideas about freedom were hammered into the bedrock of a new country.
But, before it became this global symbol of liberty, it had a much more, let's say, local purpose. Its journey to fame actually started with a pretty simple administrative need.
Yeah, originally it wasn't even called Independence Hall. It was the Pennsylvania State House. Finished up back in 1753, its job was to be the capital for the colonial province of Pennsylvania, a government building, a center for colonial administration. Grand for sure, but its focus was local, not national. Not yet, anyway.
And getting it built was a journey in itself. We're talking 21 years. Ground was broken in 1732, and the whole thing rose piece by piece as the money trickled in. It's kind of the perfect testament to that slow, steady process of how things got done back in the colonies.
But pretty soon, this quiet local state house was about to be thrust onto the world stage. It found itself right at the heart of a revolution, hosting events that would, and this is no exaggeration, change world history forever. So by 1775, things are boiling over, right? Delegates from all 13 colonies gather right here for what becomes the Second Continental Congress. This building, this state house, effectively becomes the nation's first capital. It's the nerve center where these huge decisions were being made, like, hey, maybe we should create a continental army. And then came July 4th, 1776. Right inside these walls, 56 delegates, just think about that number, 56 people, pledged everything, their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor, all by adopting the Declaration of Independence.
And you've got to understand, this document they approved in the assembly room, it wasn't just some breakup letter to a king. It was way more radical than that. It was a whole new philosophy of human rights, and those words would echo across the globe for centuries to come.
But declaring independence is one thing. Actually running a country, that's a whole different ballgame. So, just over a decade later, delegates were back in the exact same room to solve a new problem. How is this new nation going to actually govern itself? You could say the Declaration was the why, the Constitution would be the how. And you have to picture this. It's the summer of 1787, brutally hot and humid in Philadelphia. And inside the hall, the windows are shut tight, maybe even nailed shut. Why? To keep everything secret. Can you imagine the pressure, the heat, the fierce debates happening in that room? That's how the US Constitution was hammered out. All right, so the nation's founding documents are written. You'd think the Hall's story might be over, right? Not even close. It basically transforms from being the creator of history to its silent witness. And its own physical structure started to change right alongside the country it helped create.
And I mean literally physically changing. By 1781, the original wooden steeple was just rotting away. It got so bad they had to take it down completely. It totally changed the city's skyline and really shows you the constant fight against time and decay.
But then, fast forward a few decades to 1828. There's this renewed sense of national pride, and people wanted to restore the Hall's former glory. So an architect named William Strickland comes in, and he doesn't just replace the steeple, he designs a new, more elaborate one. He created the grand, iconic silhouette that we all recognize instantly today.
The Hall also became a place of deep, profound national mourning. I mean, think about this. When Abraham Lincoln was assassinated, his body was brought back to the assembly room to lie in state. Over 300,000 people filed past his coffin. It was this incredible moment connecting the country's founding ideas with the terrible sacrifice made to keep it together. Okay, so that's the history. But why does this one building still matter so much? I mean, the ink on those documents dried a long, long time ago. Why does it still hold such a powerful place in our imagination? Well, because its legacy isn't just in the past. It's woven right into our daily lives. You've probably got a picture of it in your wallet right now. It's been on the back of the $100 bill since 1928. It's served as a backdrop for protests and civil rights speeches. Heck, the independence of Czechoslovakia was proclaimed on its steps. It's not just a dusty old monument, it's a living, breathing symbol. And keeping this protagonist of our story alive, it's been a massive, centuries-long effort.
The building has gone through these constant cycles of demolition, reconstruction, and restoration. Each generation has had to step up and decide how to best preserve its authentic story for the next one.
So from a colonial statehouse to a UNESCO World Heritage Site, Independence Hall remains a stage for history. It's a symbol of ideals that we are still debating and fighting for today. And that leaves us with one big question. What new chapters will be written within its view?